It's Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning. Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Good Monday morning, November the 17th. Whoo, baby. I am back from a 2-week tour. Really, I was gone for about 3 weeks. With those pesky rehearsals and everything. But a few weeks on the bounce. Now I'm back in Minnesota. Now I'm feeling good, other than the fact that I feel like crap because I'm sick. But, hey, that's beside the point. I'm feeling Minnesota either way. So, Paul Fletcher, please, some headlines.
All right. Well, it looks like all the ingredients could come together tonight for Mother Nature to produce a few inches of snow.
This is crazy!
Yeah, we're talking about snow in Minnesota. It's absurd. Somewhere in central or southern Minnesota is what they're saying. That's all the more specific they're willing to be right now, apparently. But overnight tonight into tomorrow, right now the odds aren't super high, but they're talking about slush is almost inevitable.
The map I saw with all the freaking colors and blotches and stuff all over it, most of this stuff was looking like it was going to be right around I-90 in southern Minnesota.
Oh, man.
That might have changed, but that's what I saw.
Well, they are talking about slush here and possible snow, but we'll see what happens, I guess.
Winter
I'm
weather
hoping.
Adjacent.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
Fingers crossed. Just give us some white stuff. It's fine. We're going to be fine. New Jersey prosecutors have busted up a massive illegal sports betting ring involving college athletes and organized crime. 14 people have been arrested, including members of the Lucchese crime family. New Jersey Attorney General Matthew Platkin says some college athletes were actually running sports books, but he won't say which schools or sports were involved. The NCAA knows about it and, probably doing nothing.
There was a band from the new southern New Jersey, Philadelphia area back in the day called Cinderella, and they had a song called "The More Things Change, the More They Stay the Same." And when the old organized crime and athletes get together, we all know where that's going.
100%. The Oscar-winning short film War is Over, inspired by John Lennon and Yoko Ono's classic holiday tune, Happy Christmas, War is Over, is going to premiere on YouTube. It's an 11-minute film co-written by Sean Ono Lennon and Dave Mullins. Sean and Yoko executive produced the film, which won the 2024 Oscar for Best Animated Short Film. It's going to debut on John Lennon's YouTube December 6th.
Well, I will watch it on December 6th if that's the case.
It is the case. Well, I'm not sure you want to hear this one, but it's coming anyway. 2026 preliminary property tax levies show increases across many parts of Minnesota. State data shows Minnesota property tax levies could rise by a total of nearly $1 billion. That's $1 billion. The state's revenue said the rates are not final. Public meetings will be held between late November and late December, where residents will have the opportunity to provide input.
Okay. Oof. I imagine that input's going to be no.
Yeah. It's one of those where you probably feel like you're not going to get much accomplished.
Does anybody have a comment besides no? Nope. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the input, everybody.
The FAA announced Sunday that it will end its emergency directive requiring reductions in commercial flights across 40 major U.S. Airports effective now. It kicked in this morning at 5 a.m. The cuts, which at times reached 6% of flights at the airports affected, were put in place during the recent government shutdown amid concerns over air traffic control staffing.
6%, a mere pittance, unless you're in that 6%. Right. Then it's life-changing and forever scarring.
Yes. Pete Townsend has expressed interest in using AI technology to complete some of his previously unreleased songs. Townsend has around 350 to 450 pieces of music that he is considering utilizing AI to work on. Townsend is optimistic about the role of AI in music, believing it will have surprising benefits similar to the internet.
Somebody's forgotten what it's like to work with other human beings. It's rewarding and it's interesting, and you might learn something, whereas you will learn nothing from working with AI and Pete Townsend. You may go home now.
Yeah.
Love Pete, love The Who. That makes me kind of nauseous to imagine. I've got all these parts, I don't know what to do with them, so instead of sitting down with, I don't know, any of the 1 million great singer-songwriters that would love a chance to be in a room with you, let's let a computer fix it. Oh, Pete, we hardly knew ye.
Or maybe some of these ideas just don't need to come to fruition.
Well, there's also that. To what end? What are you going to release 350 new songs?
It's just nuts. It's Pete and AI. That could be a new band for him.
Ugh,
An AI startup in LA just released an app that lets you communicate with your loved ones after they die. Check out this commercial.
He's getting bigger. See?
Oh, honey, that's wonderful.
Kicking like crazy.
He's listening. Put your hand on your tummy and hum to him. You used to love that.
Hi, Grandma.
Hey, Charlie. How was school today?
It was really fun.
Look who's going to be a great grandmother.
Oh, Charlie. Oh, congratulations.
She says that he's been kicking a lot, though.
Tell her to put her hand on her tummy and hum to him. You loved that.
You would have loved this moment.
You can call anytime.
Too much Black Mirror.
Way too much Black Mirror, and I have to step back from my Pete Townsend comments now because it's like, well, okay, at least he's not that bad.
Yet.
This is just absolutely. You know what? If you're going to write with AI and you're going to pretend to be in touch with someone who's passed on, at least Pete Townsend, get an AI that understands the catalog of Todd Snyder, a great songwriter we lost over the weekend, who would have been wonderful to be in a room with Pete Townsend instead of a computer. Simulating conversations for your unborn children with your dead grandparents? No, thank you. Those are the. You know what? Those are the people that think Elon Musk is a genius, and they should all go to Mars together.
Wow.
It's disturbing.
Why not? Bring Grandma.
At the least, disturbing is the word that comes to mind.
Yeah. No, I'm totally cool with the fact that life begins and ends.
It just
makes us appreciate it more while we have it, and then makes you realize the clock's always ticking. Get to work, get busy, don't sit around. The best time to do anything is right now.
Go visit Grandma now instead of waiting for an AI version to talk to you. If all the ingredients come together just right, Mother Nature could produce a few inches of snow somewhere in central or southern Minnesota overnight tonight. Update from the National Weather Service. They're saying wintry mix of rain, snow, and sleet possible for the Twin Cities. 1 to 3 inches of slushy accumulations could make for a slippery drive tomorrow. This is mostly in the southern part of the Twin Cities.
Gotcha. Bring it on, I say. Let's get winter going. Come on
Our
now.
buddy John in Somerset, I think, referred to his tires as bologna skins. So I'm feeling for him this morning.
Yeah,
boy.
He's wanting the snow to wait a little bit so he can get his bologna skins replaced.
That's pretty great.
New Jersey prosecutors have busted up a massive illegal sports betting ring involving college athletes and organized crime. 14 people have been arrested, including members of the Lucchese crime family. New Jersey Attorney General Matthew Platkin says some college athletes were actually running sports books, but he didn't say which schools or sports were involved.
I remember when all the NIL stuff came up a few years ago and college athletes were about to be paid. There were a lot of people decrying this and saying, this is the end of amateur athletics. And other people would go, well, they're way less likely to, get involved in gambling now. They can actually legally make money. And, of course, the lesson, as always, is no, none of this impacts anything. People see an easy buck. They're always going to go for it.
That's correct. A startup company called TransAstra has come up with a surprisingly simple idea to solve one of the most complex problems in space. They've developed a giant inflatable bag made from Kevlar and aluminum that can trap anything from small pieces of space junk to asteroids the size of a house. The so-called capture bag has already been tested aboard the International Space Station and is now being scaled up for future missions. If everything goes according to plan, the capture bag will capture its first asteroid in 2028.
I was freaking out about them, having like an air fryer on that Chinese space station thing. They were talking about making chicken wings a week ago. Now we're capturing asteroids the size of a house. Where will the madness end?
It's, you know what, though? It seems insane, but with all of the stuff we've put up into space and then the stuff that's naturally in space, it's actually probably something that's necessary.
I thought we already solved this problem, and it was to send Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck to drill a giant hole into an asteroid.
Ryder, I don't know how to tell you this, but that was just a movie.
Oh, come on, man.
It was a documentary, was it not?
Speaking of documentaries, there's going to be one about this season of the Minnesota Vikings
Oh, no.
down the road. It's going to be called Roller Coaster. I finally realized what J.J. McCarthy needs to be. We need to move football into the realm of baseball, which is you have relief pitchers who come in and close the game.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy is your closer quarterback.
Yes.
58 minutes into the game yesterday, he was 12 of 27, 95 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. After the 2-minute warning, in 1 minute and 10 seconds, he went 5 for 5 for 55 yards and a touchdown. The man has to have such a jolt of adrenaline and fear under which to process and then deliver that I guess the first 58 minutes just aren't enough for him. So let's just hook him up for the very end. Game-winning drives, he's got those down.
Apparently.
It's the rest of the game where he's struggling. J.J. McCarthy is throwing footballs the way people drive on ice the first time. Close. Kinda. Not really.
It's a good analogy.
This is really, really, really bizarre now. For the second week in a row, there's just been these egregious examples of him firing wildly, not in the direction of wide open receivers. JJ, buddy, your accuracy needs to get honed in fast, stat, if you will. He's only throwing 53% completions for the season so far. That is brutal.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Kevin
awful.
O'Connell said yesterday, when he has great posture at the top of the drops, he throws the ball really well. If we're still worrying about posture, to me, that sounds like you're still trying to tell Anthony Edwards, no, jump before you shoot. It's weird. I'm not feeling good about this all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I've been on the hold on. He's young. He'll come around, but accuracy is a difficult thing to come around on. And the fact that he's throwing 100 miles an hour every pitch is a little concerning. The Green Bay this Sunday, we'll see what happens. The Wolves lost yesterday to the Nuggets. The Wolves are 8-5, which is not bad, but they've yet to beat a team that is over 500. That is something of a bit of a concern. But the Wild, however, picking up the slack for everybody, 6-1-1 so far in the month of November. Nice turnaround, gentlemen. Keep it up, please. Inver Grove Heights.
Yeah.
What's up?
That's a
What's
place.
up, IGH?
That's a
What's
place.
happening down there?
Inver Grove Heights, huh?
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning. Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It is a Monday morning, November the 17th. We got a Monday morning mixtape to start to put together. We will be taking your submissions throughout the show. 651-989-ROCK is the Luther Westside Volkswagen Talk and Text line. Songs about being sick, songs about sickness. I've got the old, oh, hey, I'm going home from tour. Now my immune system will shut down, and now I feel like crap thing happening. Did not expect that to be the case. I woke up yesterday in Atlanta, and I mean, I opened my eyes and went, oh, no, stop. Just right on cue. It's the most predictable cliche nonsense ever, but it snowballed throughout the day. By the time I went to bed last night, I was just in misery thinking, maybe I'll just sleep it off. That's all I need. No, I slept it right in. Finally got a great night's sleep, and I'm worse than ever. But that's okay, man. This is radio. You don't have to look at my face.
That's right.
My puffy face and see all the tissues over here on the table. Songs about sickness. If I say rock song about sickness, Ryder, what comes to mind first and foremost?
We're going to get this one right out of our system. Disturbed's Down with the Sickness.
Man. Yeah,
Many of these noises, I'm sure Steve made.
Yeah,
yes.
I've made so many noises that would be FCC violations if we put them on the air.
Yeah.
That sets the table fairly nicely. Fletcher, what comes to mind in you?
There was one that kind of led the way into Seattle about a year before Nirvana's Bleach, a band that influenced them all.
Ooh.
Mudhoney. Touch Me, I'm Sick.
Very good pick.
They even parodied this song and I know you're not a big fan of the director that did Singles. Now I'm blanking on his name. He did Almost Famous. Cameron Crowe's Singles. They parodied this song. There were guys from the band Pearl Jam in the fictitious band in the movie, and they did a song called Touch Me, I'm Dick.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to have to admit, I went old man, old school, old rock and roll. Because, again, I like to just, the first thing that comes to mind. I went back to The great Steve Marriott, the man against whom all other blue-eyed soul white dudes trying to be soulful sing against, everyone you compare to, and everyone comes up short because Steve Marriott is untouchable. Humble Pie, I don't need no doctor. I mean, come on, man. Humble Pie rocking the Fillmore with a young Peter Frampton on guitar.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
This might be our most solid first 3 of the morning mixtape yet. It's one of them.
What, the band Kiss certainly spent time listening to Humble Pie.
Yeah.
Rocking the Fillmore.
Yeah.
I mean, just there's a lot of little things about that band that kids are like, we'll take a little bit of this and a little bit of that. When I hear that, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Totally
that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
Didn't quite get there, in my opinion. The playing's not the same. But, hey, you know what? I'm not here to nitpick. So 651-989-ROCK. I imagine the text line, Paul, is already wound up and rolling.
Let me see here. Replacements. I bought a headache.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah, nice work, MacD.
Yeah, that was from MacD. This one we don't have a name for, but I love this pick. I was actually just schooling my children this weekend on the art of hip hop, and somebody came in with "You Be Illin" by Run DMC. Love that pick. That's great.
All right.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah, hell yeah.
651-989-ROCK. Keep them coming. Gorman in the morning. Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Good Monday morning. We have it easy, at least in one way, which is someone goes, "What do you do?" And you go, "Oh, I'm on the radio," and everyone goes, "Oh, cool."
They do.
I mean, it's always the reaction. Really? What station? What time? Cool. It's always, oh, man. And then because you watch people for the first time in their life go, I never really thought about that, but that would be cool. And so, we can't really relate. But there are a lot of people who don't get cool. They get, ooh. Do you have one of those jobs where when someone asks you what you do, you feel like, man, I'm unfairly villainized. I am not wearing the black hat, and yet people roll their eyes when they hear that I'm a what? What is it you do that gets people to give you that look? I'm just going to throw this out there. Realtors get a bad rap. With good reason.
Okay.
Everybody gets a bad rap with good reason because it only takes one total D-bag to taint the pool, if you will. But if you've ever gone through the process of buying or selling a house, you inevitably do have a conversation with someone where you look at them and go, oh, you're everything that's wrong with this world. They're just throwing so much crap on it. They're just painting that. They're putting so much lipstick on a pig. You just can't take them seriously.
Sure.
That said, I've worked with and I have friends who are realtors who are salt of the earth people, straight shooters, honest as it gets. But for some reason, realtors really get a bad rap.
I think it's a sales thing because for the longest time, and I feel like this has changed a little bit, but for the longest time, you just assumed a car salesman when you walked on the lot was there with their pinky ring and their pistol winking, ready to rip you off. And with a lot of one price shopping, I think that's changed a bit. But I think the same thing can be thrown onto real estate agents.
Oh yeah, for sure. I can remember looking at a house when Rosemary and I were the first time we bought a house. And we walked into a place, and the selling agent, it wasn't the house we ended up buying, but I said something like, well, man, that floor's pretty uneven. And he goes, it's 110 years old, man. And I was like, oh, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for not going, well, hang on. You could. He just looked at me like, yeah, duh. And I was like, I'm not going to buy this house, but I like that guy.
Yeah.
I was like, that was a good one.
Yeah.
What else comes to mind? Is there anybody you look at? I notice... I experienced in my own life watching people just berate and belittle school teachers, which blows my mind. Absolutely makes me crazy. I think it's specifically parents who think their children are perfect angels, like the parents who, how dare you correct my child, Ryder?
And you wonder why our schools are falling apart.
Yeah, that's
true.
why.
You do.
Right there, that's why.
Oh, yeah. No, I watched I thought reasonable people walk into a parent-teacher meeting and then walk out of the room with smoke coming out of their ears. And I'm like,
oh boy.
Your kid's in second grade. How bad could it be? The teacher is in charge. This is real simple, but apparently not for everybody.
That take, I think, is insane because I look at teachers and wonder if they're able to turn water into wine, walk on water, things of that nature. They're unbelievable.
I ain't dealing with those kids, so.
Yeah.
Trust me. It's on top of everything else we put them through. Public school teachers especially, oftentimes it's like, oh, and by the way, you mind buying all your supplies too?
Oh, yeah.
With the $9 a day we pay you?
Yeah.
No, teachers are not that at all. Here's your top 3. Dentists. Okay, we all know somebody who hates the dentist.
Yeah.
There have been more stories told, more jokes written about bad dentist experiences, but that's on you.
True.
That's your poor dental. You know what? You don't like dentists? Take care of your teeth. 99% of us don't have a born with condition that makes you have to go to the dentist. Just brush and floss, and you never have to see the bastard. You know what I'm saying? I've never had a problem with a dentist, and I've had so many dental issues in my life. 100% because I was a lazy kid and my mom just didn't have time to make sure all 8 of us were flossing. So it's on me. I take care of that.
All right.
Just imagine life without dentists.
Dude, my dentist just moved to Egypt and I really liked her a lot. So I'm kind of bumming.
Really?
Moved to Egypt?
Yes.
My God. Is that
a euphemism?
No,
or is
she
that real?
literally moved to Egypt. I went in to have my last cleaning and they're like, Dr. Katoon is gone. She just moved to Egypt. It's like, what the hell?
Call me crazy, but, there's a place up a little north of here called the Gorman Center for Fine Dentistry. They'll give you what you're looking for.
Oh, boy.
Big fan of dentists. I really am. Here's another one. This blows my mind. Social workers get unfairly villainized across the board. Oh, really? You mean people who work for very little to help society? Yes, let's give them our grief.
I kind of call BS on that. When my mom was a social worker for decades, retired as a social worker, I never heard anybody tell her
throw them in the same category as teachers.
Social worker. Yeah.
Throw them in the same category as teachers. They're doing the best work.
The number one on the list, though, and I think everybody will understand why, defense attorneys. Because every time we watch an Ed Gein documentary or a John Wayne Gacy documentary, we're like, who would represent that guy in court? And it's like, oh, the defense attorney. O.J. Simpson, look at Johnny Cochran, how much grief those guys, all of his defense team got.
Yeah.
And you think to yourself, how can you possibly defend
scum
these horrible people? But again, imagine life without it. It's called the old days when nobody had a chance. Defense attorneys are so very important. Yes, I don't want to do that job. I don't have it in me to defend someone that I know just went off and on a murder spree. But the system requires it, and I think that they are very unfairly maligned.
Enter the cliche necessary evil.
That's it.
Yeah,
it's very important. I mean, you got it because look at it like this: if the serial killer from your hometown can be provided with an adequate defense, you also, when you run afoul of the law, will be provided with an adequate defense. It's just it's a stopgap for all of us.
Absolutely.
Did I just get permission to be a serial killer? Is that what just happened?
Let's talk about it off air.
No, that's not at all what was said, Ryder.
Right.
Holy cow.
Oh, I got excited there for a minute. I was like, oh, my God, nobody would expect Ryder to become a serial killer. This could be great. Call Netflix. We'll do it in real time.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody?
All right, 651-989-ROCK is the talk and text line. We are taking your suggestions and your thoughts all throughout the day.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. My band, Howl Owl Howl, just did a 2-week run of dates. And we finished Saturday night in Atlanta, Georgia, the city where my whole musical life got its start back in 1987. Great gig at a really cool venue called Variety Playhouse. I've been to that place for countless gigs throughout my life. My former band, the Black Crowes, we held our second album release party there, but I had never played a gig there.
Oh, no way.
It was really weird. We walked in, we were loading in, and I went, wait a minute, I've actually never played this place. And it's a room I've been to, I mean, honestly, dozens and dozens of times in the 90s. A great venue. But it was a really good run, 9 shows over 2 weeks. And I will say quite sincerely, and I would speak for everybody that was there, couldn't have gone any better. I mean, everything, whatever we were hoping this would accomplish or how we would feel, we went way beyond that. And it felt like every single gig was better than the one before, and it started pretty good.
Can't really ask much more than that, can you?
No, honestly, it's like, I mean, and I was kind of joking last week when I said it, but we should probably pull the plug right now. It's all downhill. It was just such a fun time. First and foremost, we just had a blast. And then secondly, so did everyone that came to see us. So It's pretty great.
That stands to reason that do you think that maybe the plans for going forward are going to be more or less hasty?
What do you mean, less hasty?
More hasty, I mean.
More.
Well,
as
you
in
gonna get on it? Like, are you gonna?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just said it backwards.
Oh, you mean are we gonna like release the pigeons? Yes, we will release the pigeons. They will be. We are gonna be out
Full steam ahead, I guess.
Shows next year, and that will of course include a show in the Twin Cities as soon as possible.
We're talking as soon as the ground thaws, right?
Might have to push that one to spring, yes.
Yeah.
But as far as more dates coming up, we're looking right now. We're very excited about it. And already trying to figure, okay, what's the next song we're going to put out? All those things you do, which is kind of cool.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Any surprises in Athens or Atlanta?
Well, yeah, actually, so Athens, Georgia was Friday night, and Bill Berry, the drummer, founding member of REM, showed
that's
up.
right.
And I somehow over the years I have never met Bill Berry until Friday.
Huh.
One of my favorite drummers, the drummer in the band that made me decide, okay, I'm going to go play music now.
Cool.
Like couldn't overstate his significance, his importance in my life. And I'd somehow never met him. I've met all the members of REM just in passing or at festivals or whatever, over the years, but never Bill. So it was awesome to finally meet the guy. Couldn't
Very
have been
cool.
a friendlier fella. And I said, if you want to get up and play, man, just the kit's right there. And he said, I don't want to play, but, and Mike Mills said, well, just get up and play tambourine on one. And he was like, well, I'll do that. So we played the REM song, The One I Love, and Bill came out and played tambourine. And that was pretty cool.
Nice. That is awesome.
Yeah, it was a really nice moment. In a few weeks of a lot of really nice moments, that was one as well. At the Atlanta show, a friend of Darius's also sat in, and it's a guitarist from a band called Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Oh yeah,
cool.
Nice.
The guy's name I'm going to tell you. I think it was Todd, maybe the guitar player. I could be wrong. But and I'd met the guy. We met years ago, and I'm just spacing on his name right now. It's definitely got to be Todd. Yeah, Todd Nichols. And so he showed up, and I was like, man, you look really familiar to me. And he said, you look familiar to me. And I said, well, I'm Steve, and I play in his band. He goes, oh, yeah, and then blah, blah, blah. And we kind of put it together where we might have met. Anyway, he jumped up and played on one. And a big part of, Howl Owl Howl, one of the things that which was great these last couple nights, one of the things we always had an idea to implement was a lot of sit-ins, because we all have friends and we all have musicians that we know everywhere we go.
Yeah.
And, we're playing new songs. We're playing covers from our old bands, and having people jump up to give us a chance to play other covers from other people's music, that's something we really look forward to. So anyway, lots going on next year. Now I have to turn my attention toward a weekend of Golden Smog shows coming up in December, which is... shift the gears now. And I have to start thinking about remembering how all those songs go. So
more practicing is what I hear.
apparently it's going to be time for more rehearsals. I don't know what I was thinking with any of this, frankly. I'll tell you what I was thinking. I love to rock. That's what I was thinking.
Hell yeah.
So pretty great, man. I'm glad to be back in town. I'm glad to know that I still have that tendency to, at the end of a tour, let my guard down and get sick. Right when the tour ends. Like, all right, we had fun. Everybody, good to see you. We'll see you next time. And then, is that a throat thing I got? Is that a cough? Is that sneezing? And so now I'm a mess. And so I'm trying to figure out, how to get over it. I hate the over-the-counter stuff because, yes, it might stop the snot running down my face, but it, makes me either really sleepy or high as a kite. There's always side effects.
Yep.
I'm not interested in. I'd rather just do the radio show with the occasional blowing of the nose and the occasional, here comes a cough I can't suppress, and at least have somewhat of a clear head. Right. So I'm looking for anything that might help. So what I got the scratchy, now leaning towards sore throat, slight fever, but coughing, a lot of congestion. I'm just kind of miserable is what it comes down to. And then I find myself looking at medieval health hacks, if you will. You always see people come in with like, hey, have you ever done this for that? But now, back in the old days, imagine trying to figure out, 1,000 years ago, what to do with any sort of symptom. I mean, it truly was... I don't know, just light something on fire and see if the smoke makes you feel better. Just a random, trial and error to no end.
Snorting hot sauce make the list?
No snorting of the hot sauce on here anyway.
Okay.
And I do want to mention, if you've got some general regular crud cold, not quite the flu hacks, feel free to share them at 651-989-ROCK. If you were back in the day, if you were having any sort of chest pain, which could be any number of things, as we all know.
Sure.
In the 11th century, a really great hack, a very common one, was to dissolve goat dung, if you prefer, goat scat, in water.
Goat poop?
Yeah, let's just call it what it is.
Just goat poop.
My God.
Filter out the chunks and then just drink it. It's going to relieve some chest pain.
Drink it?
Yeah.
I love the filter out the chunks part.
Yeah, just think about the conversations around the fire pit where people were coming up with that. Like, Fred, is your chest still hurting you? Hang on a minute. This might sound crazy, but you see those goats over there? I bet there's something with that poop we could do. And then it turns out you boil it down and drink it. And no word on whether Fred recovered or maybe what it is when you vomit so vociferously you forget the chest pain.
Or it just gets all of the demons out of your system. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I remember very clearly stubbing my toe once, and as I screamed in pain, my brother punched me in the arm really hard, and he said, "Not thinking about your toe now, are you?"
Correct.
It's that kind of thing.
It very much sounds like a medieval health hack.
Another medieval health hack. So let's say your problem is your hair just did not hold its body. Didn't have lustrous hair. Didn't like the way it looked. Didn't like the way it felt. Back in the 9th century, lizard ashes were what people would go to. That's right. You cover your head in a mix of salt, vinegar, and there's a plant called summer savory, and then you burn a lizard and mix the ashes in to the salt, vinegar, and summer savory. And then apparently the lush flowing locks you're looking for were right around the corner.
I didn't realize that lizards were so prominent. I really had no idea that you could get a lizard just anywhere in medieval times.
Probably some parts of the world where this was not as easy to get done as others. Yes, That's a very good point.
Okay.
Good Lord.
By the way, as a cure-all for pretty much anything you were dealing with, vultures played a big part as well. Listen to this.
Vultures?
Well, first of all, you got to catch a vulture. Not easy to do, I don't think. Especially back in the day when all you had was like a slingshot or something.
Yeah, stone or something, yeah.
Then there's a special prayer that you would say once you have your captured vulture as you remove its head. And
I'm with you.
And the thinking was the vulture's skull bones could prevent migraines. The vulture's eyeballs were good for sore eyes. And then, by the way, if you took the vulture's feathers and tied them to a pregnant woman's legs, it would induce labor.
Oh. Well then.
Can
Vulture,
you imagine?
The magical animal.
Can you imagine walking out of the time machine back to the year 981 and trying to make it through one day?
No.
I think one day, but it's like camping. I think I could do probably 72 hours, and that's about it.
Yeah, if I made it 72 hours in medieval times, I'd think I won the game. That'd be a long stretch for me. I pick up every bug that's I get 3-4 solid colds a year. I'm not surprised at all that I'm sick right now. I'm surprised I haven't been sick since like the spring. It's a good run for me. So yeah, I would last just a number of hours, single-digit hours in medieval times.
I mean, but if I get out of the time machine, I have a box of protein bars and a water filtration system, right?
Don't think that you're gonna be able to bring that with you. That's not how that works.
It's just vultures. That's it, huh?
That's how that goes. I'm trying to beat this cold down before it gets the best of me, and we're looking for some health hacks. Paul Fletcher, give me something off the talk and text line that might help.
Well, you had said you don't like typical over-the-counter because it either makes you super high, et cetera, et cetera. We got a lot of booze suggestions, and so I'm ignoring those because you just said you don't want to get, altered in other ways.
But I didn't say anything about booze.
Oh,
but okay, I get your point.
All right. Well, so this one I thought was interesting. No name attached, but from an Oriental medicine doctor, Dr. Choi's tea for a cold. The core of a pear, or a 1-inch slice of ginger root, the peel of a clementine or tangerine, boil above ingredients in about 3 cups of water and drink as a tea. In summer, add mint leaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't have the mint leaves in winter. That'd throw the whole thing off. Is that what we're saying?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, listen how specific that is.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to one of my medieval hacks, and this is one that still does occasionally pop up online. People still go for this one. You take first of all a bunch of barley, which I don't have any on hand. I don't have barley, but I'm sure I can find some.
Yeah.
Boil a bunch of barley, strain the water, and just drink it. barley water. Real simple. Apparently, it helps from 1,000 years ago. Text from over 1,000 years ago. Not text on your phone, smartasses, but just written, things that have been transcribed over the years. It helps with digestion and other maladies. Barley water, or as I call it, beer.
Yes.
Yeah. When I initially saw that, I thought barley water sounded really gross, and then you talked about drinking goat poop, and then suddenly the barley water sounded pretty good.
No. Nothing wrong with, as I said, nothing wrong with some beer, and that gives me an idea for right when the show ends today.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
It is Monday, November 17th. In studio with us, Lonnie McQuirter, who is, he's a lot of things. He's a Renaissance man. Lonnie's got a lot on his plate. We are mostly interested in the fact that he's part of the Minnesota Retailers Association, co-founder of a hemp-derived THC edible company called Baja Ontario, in addition to owning an award-winning gas station. Lonnie, good morning, man. It's good to see you.
Happy to be here. Wish you were feeling better.
I appreciate that. Well, let's talk about it. Maybe there's something you can help me with.
Yeah.
Your company, Baja Ontario, a Minneapolis-based cannabis company. You've got edibles for, I would imagine, a variety of things. So before we talk about stuff that's going on right now, generally, since you opened, what are people looking for when they come into your store? I imagine a lot of people are flying blind on that first visit.
Absolutely. Convenience store gas stations, typically customers are only in there for about 2 minutes. Quick in, quick out, looking to get a beverage, looking to make a pit stop or for directions. And sometimes we are now known for having the other good stuff for them. Over half of our product mix is locally sourced and organics. And, we also have a lot of hemp-derived THC products as well.
And so are people coming in and ever saying like, well, this is, are they saying, do you have anything for X, Y, or Z? Or is it's not just as simple as I just want a good buzz?
Exactly. There's some places out there that are known just for, known before in Minnesota for just having those products to just give you a buzz. But, customers are a lot more demanding and they want to know what type of strain it is, where the product's made, what are the flavor profiles like, what are some of the effects here. And, you really have to have the, we really have to have our, the employee training and really go through a lot of hand-holding on the initial visits from some people. Others are professionals, and they know exactly what they're in to get, and they, can find it easy to kind of get in and out. But, by and large, it is very much a sales process there.
Lonnie McQuirter is with us on Gorman in the Morning. So, up until now, you've been involved in this for years. We've watched the state of Minnesota seemingly drag its heels to get everything up and running. It finally this year, there were votes over the last few years, but you've been behind the scenes. You've worked with both local and national lawmakers on policies. How would you grade Minnesota's rollout for legal THC products?
That's a great question. With respect to, one of our governors of past, he had placed someone in one of the departments about almost 20 some odd years ago to work on and monitor states like California, like Illinois, like Colorado. This was Governor Ventura, by the way.
This was the body?
That's correct.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
So I know everyone's like, a couple of years ago, Wallace had legalized it, and, he did and started that process. But really, the ground was laid, almost 20 some odd years ago. So Minnesota, in some ways, was behind, but in other ways, very much ahead and taking notes and very studious about the process, as well as the lawmakers were very much, contrary to some people saying that it was a slide in or it was a loophole, very much aware of what was going on and very deliberate about how they went about deploying it in the state.
Yeah, I think it probably is. As much as people were impatient, like you said, very studious, taking a lot of notes. It's good to have other people going first so you can hopefully learn from where they went sideways.
Absolutely. Sometimes it pays to be second and to be first one out of the gate.
Yeah.
So we've heard a lot about with the government shutdown coming to pass, and there was headlines last week. The Republicans snuck in a hemp ban at the last minute. I'm one of the many people who doesn't really know how far-reaching something like that is. How does that, first and foremost, impact you directly, or does it at all?
Yeah, with the actions that Senator Harris and McConnell took, it gave us about a little bit less than a year to try to get some reforms done. And so I encourage all your listeners to reach out to their congressmen and senators in D.C. and let them know how they feel and let them know that we need to get it fixed there. But essentially, we got a year on the national level, these products go away. Now, in Minnesota, with it being explicitly legal, I kind of still wonder, when the governor and when the state OCM is going to weigh in, Office of Cannabis Management is going to weigh on the issue and talk about their stance here. So.
Lonnie, I tend to oversimplify sometimes my reaction when that headline came across the radio show a few days ago, and I said, "Oh, this ban brought to you by Anheuser-Busch." Is it that simple? I mean, if there's one thing I know, it's beer companies love to shut down the hemp people.
Yeah, they've experienced since 2020. They had a great year in terms of profitability and sales wise, but they've had double-digit declines, and I'm not sure if that was one of the only reasons. I think Senator McConnell still looks at it as a loophole, and I think some of it's his ego being more hurt than anything. But honestly, if this goes through, and as it stands today, you're looking at taking a legitimate market that's approaching over $1 billion and putting it to the black and gray market. So you're not really addressing the bad actors anyways.
So Lonnie, you work directly with people behind the scenes on this, and I'm not talking about guys on the street, but you're talking with lawmakers. Generally speaking, I guess anecdotally, is anybody really concerned about this? I mean, I would imagine this is on people on both sides of the aisle probably aren't losing sleep over hemp legalization and THC products being readily available.
With politicos and with their staffers in D.C., definitely I think they're aware and working on a fix. I think for industry participants and some consumers, they almost thought that this was too improbable to be true and that it wasn't going to happen. Now that this happened last week with McConnell and Harris, I think they realize they've got to get more active and they really have to be a little bit more aware of the political realities of the world, especially today where literally anything is possible out of our nation's capital, right?
Yeah, it's funny to imagine that anybody could be looking at the situation and think, "Oh, that can't happen." I'm of the opinion anything can happen now. We've gone way past the point where anybody would say, "No, that's too far. We won't go that far."
Yeah, I'm not sure that The Onion or SNL or even Simpsons could have predicted any of the headlines of this past year.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Lonnie McQuirter's with us on Gorman in the Morning, the chair of the National Association of Convenience Stores Legislative Committee. So as a guy that also runs a gas station, I mean, like you mentioned, a lot of people pop in just for a minute. The gas station's one of the, but you have an award-winning gas station. You've got a place, the 2025 Outstanding Independence Award winner. This is the 36 Lynn Refuel Station. Where is that exactly?
Yeah, it's kind of complicated to explain. So it's located on the intersection of 36 and Lindale Avenue south of Minneapolis.
Yep, right. Got it.
Sorry.
I like how you named it just like First Avenue. Like, I'm just going to put the address right there, bud.
Bam.
Yeah. Well, spent quite a bit of money working with a brand agency trying to figure out names. And some people want to call it Lonnie's or Lonnie Martin. I'm like, no, because it's not about me. It's about the customers and it's about the employees, the people that actually make things happen. I just take credit for it and walk around with a clipboard, pretend like I'm important. Happen. Yeah.
I would imagine a convenience store with gas. I mean, there's so much in the fuel business, if you will, that nobody knows. Nobody could even imagine. There's got to be so many layers of understanding before you can make sense of that world.
Absolutely. It's tough to describe. And again, at any cocktail party, when you tell someone you work at a gas station, they immediately walk away or change the subject to like, yeah, this guy doesn't got anything to add value about.
Right. Man, I just, you're not making it easy on yourself. The realms you're diving into, succeeding nicely, but man, it's a lot of work, isn't it?
But it's been fun. We had the opportunity this weekend. Yesterday, we donated 2 pallets of product to a local food shelf. And it was one of those unique opportunities where the staff gets to see that we're more than just out to make a profit, more than out to just pinch pennies. And
that's great.
There's other things involved with running 36 Lynn than just keeping the doors open and the floors clean.
Ryder.
Lonnie, can I ask a quick edibles question? What's the difference between what you do at Baja, Ontario, and like if I went to Colorado and bought edibles there?
That's
like to a dispensary.
That's a great question. Dispensaries, they do play a role, and I would like to, start off by saying whether, whatever retail outlet you go to make your purchase, it's a different shopping occasion. Whether you go to big box or you go to like a discounter, you're looking for value. You stop in a convenience store because it's on your way home. It's what's convenient, whether you're going up north or you're local around. You know, with Baja, Ontario, we work with local manufacturers and to procure the product locally, and we really have that, you know, more niche experience. You know, some of the other outlets that sell products, you know, in, let's say, a dispensary, they're more focused on flower, and that's kind of their bread and butter, and that's what they focus in on. That's what they know.
Okay.
It's almost a burden for them to get involved with the beverage side and sometimes the gummy side, just because it's you know, it's a lot more difficult, and that's not what they focus on. Same with us. I've got no intention of getting involved with the flower. That's not our business. That's not our clientele.
Right.
And you know, again, convenience stores, we see more people than the TSA in a given day, and with that. That's a lot of IDs to check, and there's people that walk in our doors that will never drink a lick of alcohol. They'll never smoke a cigarette, and they never want to get involved with certain things because, you know, it could be a pressure that can send them over the edge and cause them to relapse on their, on their habits there. So in a convenience store, it's a little bit more of a safe setting, different type of clientele than what it would be in a dispensary.
Got it.
Yeah, that's one of that makes perfect sense. And of course, until you say it, it wouldn't have even occurred to me. But yes, so much more to be considering and be considerate of. Lonnie McQuirter is with us on Gorman in the Morning. Okay, I'm told we can ask you about pennies. So now I'm all ears as a man who's got his thumb on a lot of pulses. What's the deal with these pennies?
Yeah, penny for your thoughts. So I guess officially they produced the last penny last week, but really the U.S. Mint stopped producing around June of this year. So of about the 150 vaults that exist that the Federal Reserve operates in the United States, about a little bit over 100 of them are out of pennies currently, which means major metropolitan markets like Milwaukee, like Chicago, are completely out of pennies, which has... For most people, it's okay, but in a convenience store where it's a pennies business, you've got to either round up or round down, which... You know, sometimes for some people, it just makes sense. It's like, yeah, you just hit a button and it rounds up. But when you deal with SNAP EBT, when you deal with payments and other things like taxation, you really need to also look for a regulatory and a policy fix there as well. So,
holy moly.
Was there ever a consideration of just making pennies from new materials, something that would be not so, you know, because you always hear it takes 4 cents to make a single cent or whatever those numbers are. What's the problem with just refashioning what a penny is truly made of?
You know, it's that's it's a good point you brought up there. I think, you know, in a lot of discussion, I think it took the Fed by surprise because there were some things where, again, with NACS, National Associated Convenience Stores, there were some things that different people in the government relations department brought up to the different feds when it came to the pennies and these different issues that came up that they were unaware of. And it's, you know, I'm not going to say it's a mess, but there's definitely a few issues that need to get ironed out before now and when we completely run out of pennies.
Well, if you ever want me to say it's a mess, just give me the word and I'll be happy to go out there and fly that flag. I'll fly the mess flag any day, man.
Appreciate that. May need to take you up on that.
Yeah.
It's the least we can do. Lonnie McQuirter in the studio on Gorman in the Morning. So right now, Baja, Ontario, if somebody wants to come and find you, tell them again how they can do that.
Yeah, there's a number of great retailers that carry the product. You can find it obviously at 36 Lynn, also at the Flip Side, which is an awesome dispensary located on 36 in Bryant. Very easily get there and navigate by bike, and there's also areas to park nearby. And there's a host of other retailers listed on our website as well. So,
all right, so we got a year to get this all straight. As things develop, please stay in touch, and we'd love to. If there are updates to be shared, we'd love to have you back in to keep 100%. Everybody, keep our thumb on the pulse to some extent.
Appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
You got it, Lonnie. It's great to see you, man. Thanks for coming in. All right, today's last word. Next time someone says to you, like, "Hey, man, how long y'all been together?" I've heard myself say when someone says asking about me and Rosemary, I'll go, "Oh, we've been together forever."
Yeah.
Which the actual answer is about 35 years.
Nice.
Which is, that's
a good
part of forever, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know what? Pump the brakes on that next time you hear yourself saying it. I just want to give a quick shout out to Lyle and Eleanor Gittins of Miami.
Okay.
They are about to celebrate their 80th anniversary.
No way.
And not only that, when they got married, they were 28 and 27 respectively. They are currently 108 and 107 years old. They
buckets.
are still married, and the Guinness Book just has acknowledged the oldest married couple ever, a combined age of 216.
Wow.
Man.
That's insane.
God almighty, that's like a couple of your tortoises, Ryder.
That's true. Yeah.
Just getting started in
I
the
know.
tortoise world.
That's impressive. Holy
Just
buckets.
saying. Pretty good. Just
Yeah.
thought, you know what? Well done, guys. I guess. I mean, I hope they still get along.
I know.
Who
I
knows?
wonder if both of them can still hear.
That
Might be the
That's
secret.
fair. That's fair.
chances are not well, at the very least.
Gorman in the morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.